Hi guys, today I'm going to be showing you how to make these cute mini baseball caps, and you're going to only need 48 bands total to make them. I'm going to be making this exact one. You'll need 14 bands for the brim and the button on top and 34 bands for the rest of our cap. So let's get started. We're going to be using our loom in this configuration, or you can use it in any configuration. You can even use the monster tail. We're taking a single band, twist double for our first row, and we're going to cover the 8 pegs. Single, twist, double. So that's 8 single bands, each doubled and covering the 8 pegs. Now we're going to take a single band at a time and we'll cover 8 pegs going around our loom. And then looping the bottom bands up and over to the center, leaving 2 loops left per peg. And we're going to repeat for all 8 pegs. Make sure you grab the bottom 4 loops. After you're done, push it down and check to make sure that you have 2 loops left per peg. That was row number 2. Row number 3 and 4 will do the exact same thing. We're just going to take a single band covering the 8 pegs and looping the bottom 2 bands up and over. My last row. Remember, we only want to have 2 loops left per peg, going around our 8 pegs and looping the bottom 2 bands up and over. That was row number 4. Now we're going to take all the loops onto a hook. I'm going clockwise around my loom. Make sure you grab the 2 loops off of each pegs and getting them onto your hook like that, and taking a single band to tie a slip knot. And mine's the same color as my baseball cap. Pulling all those loops onto that single band and then tying it off. So that's what it should look like so far, and you want to pull the rim of our baseball cap so the bands are even. And that's what it should look like. And you can tuck in this charm string if you want, or you can have it just dangling. Now let's add the button. We're going to take a single band, mine will be black, to match the brim, and I'm looping it 4 times on my hook. And if your band is loose, you can loop it 1 more time, a total of 5 times. It's up to you. Now taking another band, I'm using the same color as my hat, my cap, and pulling all those loops onto my single band. Now put your hook from the inside, push it all the way through the center where we tied the slip knot, and we're going to put our hook through the loops that are buttons on, getting on our hook, and then pulling it through the center, getting our button on the top of our baseball cap. And we can flip it inside out. And let's tie it to the inside. Put our hook through some loops on the inside of our baseball cap. Grab one side of the loop and pull it through, and then we're going to tie it off so our button doesn't come off. Just get your loop around. I'm going to use my hook to help grab my loop and then tying it off on the inside of my baseball cap. That's what it should look like, and just flip it back and the button should be on there. You can pull it tighter so it's less loose. And push it in more and tuck it in later. And also, if you want your baseball cap to be on this side of the inside of the cap, that's okay too if you like that look. Or you can have it on this side, the right side out. That's your choice. Now let's make the brim for our baseball cap. So anywhere on your cap, we're going to put a hook through the loops at the bottom, and you should get 4 loops on your hook like that. And if you follow along the seam, the line here, you should be able to just put your hook through those loops and get 4 loops on your hook like that. Taking 2 single bands for your brim, I'm using black, and pulling those loops through and getting it onto a hook like that. Take 2 more single bands and pulling the 4 loops onto our 2 single bands and onto our hook. So that's what it should look like. Now we're going to put our hook through the next loop. Once again, we're going to find that line down our baseball cap and put our hook through, and you should get 4 loops on your hook along the rim of our baseball cap, and now you should have 8 loops on your hook, 4 from the rim and 2 from the brim. Taking 2 more black bands, or whatever color you're using, and fish it through and getting the loops onto your hook, and now you should have 8 loops on your hook. Taking 2 more bands, and we're going to pull all 8 loops onto our hook or onto our 2 bands and getting the loops onto your hook. And if this is confusing for you, I would recommend you watching it first and replaying it. So that's what it should look like, and we're down to 4 loops on our hook. We're going to do this one more time. We're going to go to the next loop on our baseball cap, and we're going to follow the line along the cap, and we're going to put our hook through the loops, and you should get 4 loops onto your hook like that from the rim of our baseball cap. So you should have 8 loops on your hook, 4 from the rim and 4 from the brim. Taking 2 more bands, the brim color, and pulling it through the rim of our hat. And now we have 8 loops of the brim color on our hook. Taking 2 more bands, and we're going to pull all those 8 loops onto the 2 single bands and getting it onto our hook like that. Now we're going to put our hook through the same loop as we did the last time through the brim like that. We're not skipping to the next one, we're in the same hole or the same loop, grabbing a single band, same color as our brim, and then we're going to pull all those loops onto the single band so it's attached to the rim and the brim. So now we have 2 loops on our hook, and just tie it off in a slip knot. So that's what it should look like, and we can just tuck in that slip knot band for the brim of our baseball cap so it's not visible. So there are your cute mini baseball cap charms. I hope you like them. Thanks for watching.